Okay, let's go over the answers from these exercises real quick. Just looking through these. So number one, are you attending my graduation or are you visiting your aunt in Chicago? You're going to go ahead and put the comma here because that separates what we call two independent clauses. So what could be two complete sentences that are separated by a conjunction, in this case, or. So are you attending my graduation? Are you visiting your aunt in Chicago? Each of those could be their own complete sentence, but I've added what we call a coordinating conjunction, or, so I need to add a comma there. Number two, Marty ate 4 pancakes, 2 bacon strips, and a bowl of grits. In this case, we're going to use commas to separate items in a series. So 4 pancakes, comma, 2 bacon strips, comma, and a bowl of grits. Now, the last comma before the and in a series of items is technically optional. This is what we call the Oxford comma, if you're ever familiar with this grammatical rule. I personally like it because there are a few instances in which it prevents confusion, but technically if you didn't put a comma here, that is still correct. Number three, the movie, although Susan enjoyed it immensely, left her in tears. So I'm going to use commas to set off parenthetical information, basically information that we call this non-essential information, which refers to oh, sorry, yeah, right here. Number four, using commas to set off non-restrictive clauses. So non-essential, non-restrictive. There you go. Sorry, take me a second to find that. Okay, going back down. Number four, Simon Blake, a well-known lawyer. Same rules. Number three, I put commas around this parenthetical, non-essential, non-restrictive information. But more specifically, so in number three, technically this is what we call a clause. There's a subject and verb here. Susan enjoyed. Number four, this isn't a clause, and if you don't know that grammatical lingo, it's not a huge deal. This is what we call an appositive because it's renaming Simon Blake. Okay, so Simon Blake, a well-known lawyer. Okay, but that refers to rule number. So this up here. Here we go. Number 5, using a comma to set off positives. Again, that's what we call a positive. That's number 4. Number 5, if you ever need a ride, Judy, just let me know. Put commas around direct address. Number 6, I'll eat the eggs, comma, said Jane, comma, if you'll eat the bacon. Number 7 is correct. There's no need for a comma. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake here. There is a need for a comma. I need to adjust that. Looking in the wrong place. There we go, to set off right there. There we go. $1 million. You're going to use commas to set off numbers in a amount of money. So after 3 places, so in the 1,000s place and the 1 million's place, you're using a comma there. So it should be 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then number 8, although the sky was cloudy, comma, no rain was in the forecast. So whenever we begin a sentence with an introductory phrase or clause, we're going to use a comma to separate that. Okay, going on to the paragraph here. Let's go through this quickly. With her mortar board firmly on her head, comma, Tammy took her place in the graduation procession, which was held on May 12th, 2009. So here I have introductory phrases with her mortarboard firmly on her head. And the comma goes after the introductory phrase. So I need to eliminate this comma and I need to add the comma here. And then also I need a comma when speaking of a date to separate the day and the year. So I need that comma here. The next section, so this is direct address. I probably could go ahead and add this occasionally when it's quick, short. She told her mother Louisa that she wanted to be so this is not a direct address. This is a positive renaming mother. So yeah, technically we do need commas here. Occasionally, when it's really kind of short and quick, you'll see those commas left out. But again, technically, you should have commas right here. She told her mother Louisa that she wanted to be the first in the family to get a college degree, which would also help her get a good job. Now, even though right here it may feel like a natural pause where the which is, this starts a new clause. You actually, whenever you have a clause on the, or what we call a subordinate clause, so it's a group of words that has a subject and verb, but it's not a complete thought. That's a subordinate clause. When it's on the second half of the sentence, not the beginning, not the introduction of the sentence, you actually don't need the comma typically. Next, in her mind, comma, okay, I've got an introductory phrase there. In her mind, comma, either you could get a degree after high school or you could get a degree later, but eventually everyone in the United States would need a college degree. I missed one right here. So I have a coordinating conjunction or separating independent clauses, sentences that could stand alone by themselves. So in her mind, either you could get a degree after high school, that could be its own sentence, or you could get a degree later. That could be its own sentence. Or, once again, another one. And so this conjunction is but. Eventually, everyone in the United States would need a college degree. Okay, so I have introductory phrase, separating independent clause, separating independent clause. Next, when the chance came for her to go to college and pay for most of it herself, okay, so basically I just have a comma in the wrong place. The idea is there, having a comma after introductory information, but I just need to go a little bit further, okay, because this is still part of the introductory material. So get rid of this comma, add a comma right here. She decided it was a chance she could not afford to pass up. Each course she took in her ambitious undergraduate curriculum was another triumph for her. Another 15 weeks of reading, comma, staying up late at night, comma, writing, comma, studying, comma, and sitting at an uncomfortable desk never scared Tammy. So this is a little confusing. You may have put the commas in different places, and this is why commas are important. What are the items in the series? You could also read it, another 15 weeks of reading, comma, staying up late at night writing, comma, right? So this is where it's kind of open to interpretation what exactly is supposed to be part of the item of the series. Next, as she marched off stage, comma, okay, introductory clause, Tammy clutched the diploma in one hand. Get rid of this comma, okay? This is a mistake I see a lot in student writing. Just because we see this coordinating conjunction, or this word that can typically be a coordinating conjunction, and, but, or, it doesn't automatically make it a separator between independent clauses. Right? So just because there's an and doesn't mean you automatically put a comma before. It's only in the case that you have two independent clauses, so two complete sentences next to each other that are separated by and. That's not the case here. Okay, this is what we call, it's not a compound sentence. Instead, it's a compound verb. Tammy clutched and hurled. So it's a compound verb with the same subject. This is not what we call a compound sentence, when again you have two independent clauses or complete sentences connected together with a coordinated conjunction. So as she marched off the stage, comma, Tammy clutched the diploma in one hand and hurled her mortarboard into the crowd with the other. She yelled, okay, so I put a comma before quote, separating the speaker from the quote. She yelled, comma, here's what she yelled. And then when she got through the crowd and reached her family, comma, okay, introductory clause, she screamed, and again, a comma separating the speaker and their act of communicating with the direct quote. All right, so that's a quick overview. If you're wanting to know why the answers are the way they are, to get a little bit more information, there you have it.